This segment brought to you by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
We're back. Now we take a look at the bison industry on a national scale.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer with Dick Gehring with the National Bison Association. Dick, when we talk about farm commodities and farm products, right, you know, we fight demand, supply and demand, but when it comes to bison, really you have extremely strong demand for your product.
That's correct. Our supply is continually being outstripped by demand. We can't keep up. We're looking for new producers all the time. One of the great things about not being a commodity is we have our own price structure that continues to rise based solely on demand for the meat product.
So your biggest issue is really finding more producers.
That's correct. We need producers of all sizes, but we're right now really kind of focused on some commercial producers, maybe 100, 200 cow herds with some potential for expansion from there.
So when you talk about price discovery and setting price and me wanting to sell my production, tell us how that might work out in Kansas.
There's markets, private markets everywhere that are looking for the product. In the first Saturday in December is an annual sale that the Kansas Buffalo Association puts on. It's an open consignment sale that is open to anybody to bring animals to. Very few requirements to get there, and we'll probably run somewhere around 300-400 head this year, which is one of our lighter sales, and it speaks to the type of demand that's out there right now. We're having a little bit of a hard time getting enough. We'd like to see 600, 700, 800 head.
Well, and truly, a lot of your producers sell in other ways, but that sell kind of gives you an idea of what the going price is.
That is a very good venue, a very good market tool to figure out a production model, price discovery. Absolutely.
So if I'm considering this as a rancher, what sort of things do I need to keep in mind whether it's a fit for me or not?
A little bit of background in livestock production would be beneficial. It's not mandatory. Some cattle experience is always a good thing. Folks ask a lot of times what it's like, and I say it's exactly like raising cattle, only completely opposite. And you know, they ask a lot about the fencing and about what kind of facility I need, and it sounds like, you know, we really need to build it, you know, extremely stout and all that. And I always tell them, if you have to have it that stout and that strong and that high, you're doing it wrong, because it's all about handling the animal and how you do it. And
truly, they are a grazing animal. Most of them spend their entire life on a grass diet.
There's a lot of market out there that is for grass-fed only. They are a great ungulate. They a fantastic job of utilizing grass species in different forbs and sedges, and they're able to convert that much better than cattle over the entire year. They graze year-round, and there's also another market segment out there that does a little bit of feed finishing on the end, but most of their life is spent out there grazing.
We're visiting with Dick Gehring. He's with the National Bison Association. This is Kyle Bauer reporting. Back to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Kyle. Come back after the break for this week's Kansas Farm Bureau update.
I had this horse. It was a good horse, except for when the wind was blowing above 30 miles an hour. Wind was blowing about 35, 40, and I saddled him up, rode him out to the end of the lane, and I thought, well, he's doing pretty good. And about 6 jumps later, I was laying on the ground and thinking, boy, my shoulders sure hurt. I kept waiting, and it didn't get better, and so I went to orthopedic surgeon, and that showed that I had torn rotator cuff. And said, well, I have to do surgery. I thought, I farm and ranch by myself. This is not going to work out very well. I'd been sleeping in my recliner for about 2.5 years because it hurt too much to sleep in bed on my side. I'd heard about Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center on the radio. Gotten down there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 11:30 the procedure was all over. They just took some fat out of my side here and spun that down for about 45 minutes and then injected it in my shoulders, and I was on my way. It's something you don't hear about, but I thought it was worth a try, and I'm really pleased. It's really worked out well for me.